Sally's husband continued to work most nights, so she often found herself alone with their children in what was obviously an unusual house. Not long after moving in, a second framed picture fell off the wall. This time, it was a large and heavy frame that had been hanging directly above the head of Jim and Sally's bed. Fortunately, no one was in the bed at the time the picture came crashing down on their pillows. Again, the wire was intact, as was the hanger on the wall. Again, the picture evidently lifted up and off the hook. There was no other way that the picture could have come off the wall. Sally was puzzled that it happened again, since none of the picture had ever fallen off the wall in either of the houses that she had previously rented, nor in the house where she had grown up. During the first several months since they moved in, pictures fell off the wall over and over. The pictures in the hall fell so many times Sally ended up removing them. All of the pictures that fell in any room of the house always fell up and off the hooks. It was never caused by a broken wire or a bent nail. And, rather than dropping to the floor, the pictures tended to fly across the room. As the months went by, the pictures never really quit falling, but they did so with less regularity. As if to replace the picture activity, magnets began to come off the refrigerator. It wasn't a case of small magnets that were holding up too many papers. All types of magnets simply came off, and when they did, they usually flew across the kitchen and even through the doorway into the dining room. With increasing frequency, the magnets were flying off until, one day, that activity stopped. Just as had happened with the pictures transitioning into magnets, now other objects began to fly across the rooms. The first thing to do so was a small brass unicorn figurine. It was one of several in a collection on a small wooden shelf next to the fireplace. The little object didn't fall to the ground. It flew across the room and struck the opposite wall with enough force that it left a dent in the wall. A few days later, a second unicorn figurine similarly relocated itself. For the remainder of 1987, and through the next several years, many such incidents occurred. It became increasingly difficult for Sally to convince herself that it was caused by settling walls or the wind, or any other logical explanation. One of the unicorns even turned the corner and struck the wall in the next room. Since he worked so often, Jim did not personally see most of the poltergeist activity in their house. Whenever Sally tried to talk to him about the things that were happening, he became frustrated. He said that he did not like that he couldn't control what was happening, and if he couldn't fix it, he did not want to talk about it. Sally quit trying to tell him most of what had become daily happenings. Nor could she tell her friends, since it sounded unbelievable. Over time, all of it somehow became normal in that house.